The day my wife divorced me, it wasn't because I cheated. It wasn't because I lied. It wasn't because I hurt her. No. She divorced me because of one tiny mistake, a mistake that could have been solved with a simple conversation. But instead, she believed another man. And when she chose him over me, she thought she had one. What she didn't know was that the man she chose had a boss. And months later, I married him. My name is Daniel, and until last year I believed my life was simple and stable. I had a decent job, a small but comfortable house, and a wife named Emily. We had been married for 4 years, and like every couple we had small arguments sometimes, but nothing serious. At least that's what I believed. Emily worked at a marketing company in the city. She loved her job and talked about it all the time. At first the stories were normal, office meetings, projects, annoying deadlines. But after a while one name started appearing more and more in her stories. Ryan. At first I didn't care. Everyone talks about coworkers. But slowly it became strange how often his name appeared. Ryan helped me with a presentation today. Ryan stayed late to help everyone finish the project. Ryan is really funny. Everyone in the office likes him. I trusted my wife, so I ignored the uncomfortable feeling in my chest. I told myself it was nothing. After all, Emily had never given me any reason to doubt her. But looking back now, I realized that was the moment everything slowly started falling apart. The real disaster started with something incredibly stupid. One evening Emily was sitting at the kitchen table using my laptop to finish some work. I was making coffee when I suddenly heard her voice behind me. Daniel, what is this? Her voice sounded cold. I turned around and saw my laptop screen. An email notification had popped up from a colleague of mine named Sophia. The message said, "Dinner tonight was really nice. We should do it again." I immediately understood what she saw. But the truth was simple. My whole team had gone out for dinner after finishing a huge project. Sophia had sent that message to the entire group. Unfortunately, Emily only saw the message, not the explanation. Her face looked hurt and angry at the same time. "So you're going on dinner dates now?" "It wasn't a date," I said calmly. "Then why does it look exactly like one?" I tried to explain. I showed her the group chat from work. I even called one of my coworkers to confirm it. But Emily had already made up her mind. And the worst part was, someone else was helping her make that decision. Ryan. Over the next few days Emily became distant. She barely talked to me unless it was necessary. One night I walked past the bedroom and overheard her talking on the phone. "I just feel so stupid," she said quietly. "How could I not notice before?" My stomach dropped. I didn't even need to ask who she was talking to. Ryan had convinced her that the email meant I was cheating. The next time we argued she said something that shocked me. "Ryan says men always hide things like this. Ryan says. Ryan thinks. Ryan believes." Suddenly my marriage had a third person in it, and it wasn't me. 2 weeks later Emily handed me divorce papers. Just like that. No counseling. No real conversation. Just papers. "I deserve someone honest," she said. I felt like someone had punched me in the chest. "You're destroying our marriage over one email. You betrayed me." I didn't. But nothing I said mattered anymore. She had already chosen who she believed. 3 months later the divorce was finalized. And almost immediately after that, Emily started dating Ryan. When I heard the news I felt a strange mix of anger and sadness. But at the same time something felt suspicious about the whole situation. Ryan seemed too perfect in Emily's story. Too helpful. Too supportive. It felt like he had been waiting for an opportunity. A few months later I accidentally ran into an old friend who worked in the same company as Emily. During our conversation he said something that changed everything. "You know Ryan has done this before, right?" I stared at him. "What do you mean?" He flirts with women in the office, especially married ones. It's like some weird competition for him. My heart started beating faster. Apparently I wasn't the first husband whose marriage Ryan had helped destroy. But that wasn't even the worst part. Most of the time he gets bored after a few months and moves on to someone else, my friend added. Suddenly everything made sense. Ryan never loved Emily. He just liked the challenge of taking someone else's partner. At that moment I felt anger rising inside me, but I also knew something else. If Ryan treated women like this, sooner or later it would catch up with him. And it did. A few months later I heard from another friend that Emily and Ryan were constantly fighting. Ryan flirted with other women in the office. He started arriving late to work and missing deadlines. Eventually the company management started noticing his behavior. And that's when fate did something strange. At a charity event organized by a local business group, I met a woman named Victoria Hayes. She was confident, intelligent, and clearly successful. During our conversation we realized we had some mutual connections. Then she suddenly asked something unexpected. Wait, you were married to Emily Carter? I blinked in surprise. Yes. How do you know that? Victoria sighed. Because Ryan works under me. Ryan's boss was standing right in front of me. And when she started telling me the things he had been doing at work, I realized something. Karma might finally be starting its work. But none of us expected how far things would go. After that night Victoria and I started talking more often. At first it was just casual conversations. But slowly our discussions turned into longer talks about life, work, and relationships. She told me a lot about Ryan's behavior in the company. Apparently his flirting wasn't just rumors. Several employees had complained about him making inappropriate comments and creating drama between coworkers. Victoria had already warned him multiple times. He thinks he's smarter than everyone else, she told me one evening while we were having coffee. What do you mean? He acts charming, but he manipulates people behind the scenes. Hearing that confirmed everything I suspected. Meanwhile, Emily's relationship with Ryan was getting worse and worse. Through mutual friends I heard that Ryan was constantly messaging other women from the office. Emily was jealous and angry all the time. The same man who convinced her that I was a cheater was now giving her real reasons to doubt him. Karma has a strange sense of humor. During this time Victoria and I grew closer. She wasn't just intelligent and successful, she was also kind and honest. Unlike my previous relationship, conversations with her felt calm and genuine. One evening after dinner she looked at me seriously. Can I ask you something? Sure. Do you still miss Emily? I thought about it for a moment. Then I shook my head. No. I think I just miss the person I believed she was. Victoria smiled softly. That's a very honest answer. Our friendship slowly turned into something deeper. We started dating a few months later. And that's when Ryan's situation at work became even worse. More complaints came in about his behavior. He missed an important deadline that cost the company a lot of money. Eventually the management decided they had enough. Victoria had to lead the investigation. She wasn't cruel about it. She simply followed company rules. But the result was inevitable. Ryan was fired. When Emily found out, their relationship collapsed almost immediately. Without his job and reputation, Ryan suddenly lost the confidence that had attracted her. They broke up only weeks later. Meanwhile, my life was moving in a completely different direction. Victoria and I had built something strong and healthy together. Our relationship was based on honesty, not manipulation. A year after we first met, I proposed to her. She said yes. The wedding was small but beautiful. Only close friends and family attended. And yes, people from Emily's old workplace eventually heard the news. Ryan apparently reacted badly when he found out. The man who destroyed my marriage ended up losing his job, his reputation, and the woman he had chased. And the biggest irony of all? His former boss, the woman who had the power to fire him, was now my wife. I never planned revenge. But sometimes life has a funny way of balancing things. Ryan treated relationships like a game. In the end, he lost everything. And I gained something far better than the marriage I lost. So that's the story of how my wife divorced me over one tiny mistake, and how life eventually turned the tables. Sometimes karma doesn't come immediately. But when it finally arrives, it hits harder than anyone expects. And if you enjoy stories like this, make sure you subscribe to Revenge Ida 2.0, where the most unbelievable revenge stories always find their way back to justice.